What's good, everybody? What is good? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. What up, Sean, Mike, Aaron, Lewis, C, Burleson, KMT, hey ho. Make sure you can hear me, Thurston Howe III, Carlos Holloway, James Gary. What's up, Rita? Moving the chains. Good morning to you. T Smooth TV. Can y'all all hear me? Okay, that's good. My dog, Mike White, will be here in a second. I sent him the link, so he'll be in here in a second. Good morning, everybody. What's up, Miss LaDonna? Joseph, what's going on with you? How's everybody doing this morning? It's a rainy morning out here in Ohio. Very rainy. It was sunny this whole weekend and got rainy today. What's good? M. Forever 96. How's everybody doing this morning? We did something on the fly. So I'm just what's up, Hassan? Appreciate the donations on the last feed. Really appreciate you. My dog, Mike White, he'll be here in a minute. We're going to talk some quick OTAs as we head into training camp. Appreciate everybody being here. What up, Jop? Been a long time. How you doing, back dog? So I just want to talk about something right quick before Mike jumps in here, and I'm going to ask him. What player? Yeah, let's just go ahead. Y'all ask me some questions till Mike in here. That's cool. That's what's up. We can do that. It's a good question. Let me post it right quick. Mr. Carlos Holloway asked me, what player am I looking forward to see most outside of Dak? That's a damn good question. It's going to be on the defense. If you want to be honest, I got two players I'm very interested. Actually, I got three, but I'll say my top player, Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons, I think he can really be the guy. Said he's going to be the leader of the defense, like Dak Prescott's going to be the leader of the offense. So yes, he's the guy I want to see. I want to see if he can really turn up like I think he can. Like I think he's the leader. He can be the attitude, the mentality, the personality, the ability. It's all set up to be great. So now he just has to do it. And I'm just interested where they're going to put him in the positions to succeed. I want to see where they're gonna move him around, blitz him, send him everywhere. Just make this kid be your top guy. Do what you're supposed to do with him. What's good, Jay? Joshua Parker was good. I think Jop asked a question. Let's see. Okay, Jop asked me this question right here. Where your ass at, Mike? Okay, right here. My dog, Jop. Does Fehoko make the roster? Yeah, he's definitely going to make the roster. He's definitely going to make the roster unless he plays like absolute like crap. He's going to make the roster. I think he has the mentality. He's a willing player. I think the biggest thing for him is to see if he's really going to do anything this year is special teams. Can he move Noah Brown, Cedric Wilson? Those are the two guys that Cedric Wilson re-signed, but Noah Brown, he's a fringe guy. He's been there a long time. This regime doesn't have the loyalty. They drafted Fehoko. He's 6'4", 227 pounds, running 4.37 speed. I mean, he's got the quick feet. I told you, he's the quick feet. Can play in the slide. He can play multiple positions. And I think he's going to have a good rapport with Dak for some reason. I just feel like they're going to gel. So in the outlook of the future, I definitely feel like Fehoko is going to make the roster. How much he's going to play this year, I don't know. But it's probably going to determine how much special teams he can get on. If he really kills it in special teams, I could see him maybe sliding in a game on a blowout. We'll see. But I definitely think he's a player for the future. I think that's why they drafted him for the future. So definitely he's not getting cut, in my opinion. Yeah, man, the Mavs, dog. Yeah, they just really frustrated me. KP. It's just, Mark Cuban came out and said he's keeping Rick Carlisle, so that's cool. he can go ahead and keep Rick Carlisle, whatever. But they got to figure it out, man. They need a guy that's going to be a double guy. They need an inside player. They need a player that's going to, be able to do some good dirty work in there and be a guy that's going to be dependable on the inside. I mean, they just use too much of KP on the offensive side. What up, dog? Can't hear you. But Mike will jump in here as soon as he figures that out. But you good. But I think he's gonna go out and come back in. But I don't know, man. They need a good inside guy. They need really frustrated me when they got rid of Curry. I think that's a player they should have kept. JJ Redick, I don't know why they did that. He's old. He's one-dimensional. I know Curry's just a younger player, and I think he adds more. I don't understand that one. What I already read. And, KP just got to do something. I just posted something on my Twitter page where he's frustrated about being, he's not getting the touches and being the second wheel. But, I mean, dog, they got to give him touches. They got to figure it out. They got to move him around. I don't know, man. It's just frustrating because it's like you beat LA handily those 2 games, and then it's like when you're wanting a guy like KP who you spend all that money for, he's got to produce. If you spend all that money for a player, dog, you got to give him the ball. I don't know. Luka's the guy. We all know that. Luka's the man. I ain't taking nothing from Luka's the man. He's going to dominate the ball. That's what Magic did. But he gives it up too. When you get them opportunities, you got to take shots. You got to be aggressive with it. You feel me? I would love for them to get a Bradley Beal. My dog, I would love for him to get is Gary Trent Jr. You there?
Audio input.
There you go. I hear you. But move your camera down some so I can see your face.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. Perfect.
There we go.
What up?
For some reason, it flipped all the damn.
You all good?
It flipped all the settings up on me.
You all good? So we got questions up in here, big dog. So we can just jump in and answer some questions right quick. I've already answered a few. So hold on right quick. All right. How you doing today?
Man, I just woke up. I'm doing well.
Me too. I just woke up too. It's a good thing. All right. So I got a question here from Sean Mike. He says, BGJ, and you can jump in on this too, Mike. What's your biggest question mark about the defense before they go into training camp? My biggest question mark going into training camp really is what we're going to see. How these rookies are really going to blend with these guys that are already there. I want to see, what the free agent. That's my biggest question mark. How these free agents, these rookie players, because it's like a new turnover. I mean, you got almost a new secondary. You got pretty much a new defensive line. So that's my biggest question mark. Linebackers are new. Sean Lee's gone. Your middle linebacker is a rookie. You get what I'm saying? Your secondary is free agents. You got rookies, second year players. Your defensive line is pretty much all new guys, right? Second year players. Mm-hmm. It's besides DeMarcus Lawrence. So that's my biggest question mark. How are these all these guys going to gel together? What's your thoughts, Mike?
Same. Am I the only one that feels like they don't have a plan for Parsons?
You think so?
I mean, from what I hear, they're moving here, they're moving there, they're moving there, they move him to end, they move him Will, they move him to Mike, they play him at strong safety. It just didn't feel like it hadn't felt like they've had a plan for him since they picked him. Obviously he's going to play a lot of snaps, but are they going to let the dude play a position, or are we going to do one of these dumbass things like we did with Byron Jones and make you play every damn secondary position his rookie year? That's what I'm worried about.
Well, they're saying they got him at the Mike and they're rushing him at the linebacker. I'm gonna trust Dan Quinn on this because I think he may have a plan for him. I think they're gonna play him at the Mike. Obviously, we need to see him in coverage. He hasn't done a lot of that, but maybe they have a plan with that. They got Van Der Esch, they got Keon O'Neal, they got those type of guys that can flex those positions. Jalen Smith can play on running down, so we'll see. I think they're just going to have him in, like, passing downs. Maybe they have him strictly rushing a passer on a passing down. You get what I'm saying?
What is today? Oh, all right. So we got one more day. Mandatory mini camps tomorrow.
Yeah, so we'll see. Let me give a shout out to is it Kozea Banks? Shout out to him for the 1999 holla. We appreciate you for the donation. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely appreciate you about that. I got another question right here from Joshua Parker. He says, who's going to be the starting day one opposite Trevin Diggs? That's my biggest question mark. What you think about that, Mike?
I mean, if we played tomorrow, it seems like it'd be right, wouldn't it? Nashawn Wright?
Right.
I mean, because the other guy, what's going on there? You know?
I mean,
was he sick? He showed up fat, and then he was sick. Was he sick or was he sick? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Were you ill or were you sick?
I mean, we're going to find out about that. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, don't worry about it. He's okay. And I'm like, okay. Well, my thing is like this. I'm not saying anything about Joseph. I'm not going to beat the dead horse with him because people getting on me about him. But I'm just saying the flags were there. I know he had a illness and he was excused or whatever. But he already came in a little bit out of shape. When they asked Dan Quinn about Kevin Joseph, I'm not sparking anything in the air, but he was kind of real bland about it. He was real like, you know what? I'm gonna let you talk to Mike about that. And then when they pressed him again and they asked him about Joseph again, you know, how does he feel about him? He's saying, well, you know, he's got to get in here. You know, the good thing about
how do you work with somebody who ain't there?
I mean, that's what he said. He said he's got to get here. He said the biggest thing, he said he's going to be excited to see him go against Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup. He said he's going to be wanting to see if he's ready for those challenges. So it looks like he doesn't have really anything to say about him, but you need to get into camp, you need to get in shape, and you need to get here. Because right now, when we're talking about Nashawn Wright, everybody is saying that, hey, he's making plays on the ball consistently every single day. We already heard about him saying that, you know what, I want to be like the Richard Sherman. But not just that, to me, Mike, I feel like he is a studier of the game. I feel like he is a guy that really wants to get better and really wants to get in that playbook. And I think also, Mike, I think he wants to prove that a lot of people said you reached on him on the third round. So I think he was out to prove that you didn't reach for him. So he's out there trying to make plays and do things of that nature. My opinion on the starting corner on the outside, I feel like unless Nashawn Wright just kills it, Kelvin Joseph has got to catch up. I think they would start Anthony Brown for the safe side. I'm just saying.
He's not a boundary corner. We've seen that.
I know that.
He's not a boundary corner.
I know it's not. I know that. If anything, to me, it should be Jordan Lewis. That's what I'm going to say. If anything, to me, if you're waiting for the rookies to step up and you're going to go with the veteran, it's got to be Jordan Lewis because he's an outside corner.
That's your free safety. Buddy.
I hear you, but they're not going to do that, in my opinion. Maybe,
I wouldn't go burn that in the tree just yet. Like I said, we got mandatory mini camp tomorrow.
Hey, we talked about this way before, Mike. You feel me? With Jordan Lewis playing free safety. You feel me? My thing is, I don't know if they would jump out there and do it right now because KZ is out there and he looks healthy, and they're going to give, I feel like, him every opportunity to be that player. You need to. You need to. Yes, you do. But they still got Darian Thompson. Now, I ain't calling him anything. I'm just saying he's out there on the team. I don't know.
Trade that some bitch for a used trash can.
This is my thing though. If you had an outside corner though, and they kept him at the cornerback position, I would want Jordan Lewis starting opposite of Trevin Diggs if you're going with the veteran first, and not Anthony Brown, because he's an outside corner and he proved that his rookie year. That's what he's been his whole career. They just pigeonholed him in the slot because of his size. Right?
This defense, man. We need to see.
Well, like I said,
It gives me a bad taste in my mouth, man.
It gives you a bad taste in the mouth. So Dan Quinn is giving you a bad taste in your mouth.
No. The talent's giving me a bad taste. I like Dan Quinn, but like I've said 100 times, there's the league. The unemployment line is littered full of defensive coordinators who were great until their talent ran out, and that's exactly what happened to Dan Quinn in Atlanta. He lost all those Hall of Famers, and then it was bye-bye.
That's weird because Joshua Parker says Javon Curse is getting first-team reps. I heard that he wasn't looking that good from multiple people, that he was looking stiff out there, and he wasn't looking like a player that can really
by the way, that whole we both of those things can be true. So
Okay.
what the deal is with the first team reps? Well, I was talking with Broadus about this.
Mm-hmm.
That quote unquote first team rep, they're switching these guys out like every 2 to 3 plays.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're churning and churning and burning and churning and burning. That's when we get to the mini camp this little tomorrow is when all this stuff's going to really start, weighing itself out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's they've been doing it like he said. It's like the Senior Bowl practice. It's basically how they've been doing it.
Okay, so basically just a lot of people just getting a lot of rotation and reps just to see what they can do, mix and match, and see what kind of combinations they like, things of that nature.
Moving guys around, breaking that. There's a lot of these dudes, they ain't played a snap of football in over 2 years.
Right.
So
I want to ask you about a player. Have you heard anything about him? He's been a player that I'm really interested to see. Is Chauncey Golston. I said that they could have got him a little bit later. I said, and this is what I said about him. I said that you could have got a run stopping defensive end later. I said his pass rushing moves were basic as far as rushing on the outside. And if you draft him in the 3rd round, he's backing up DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't know if he's doing that. Now, when I heard Dan Quinn, what I also said about Chauncey Golston was I thought he was better sliding inside because you could use his quickness. He's very strong for his size. And he's got good moves as far as splitting that gap and playing inside. When I heard Dan Quinn talking about him, I heard him saying that he liked his effort and energy, but I heard him saying that he liked him sliding inside with the pass rushing, maybe on 3rd downs and things of that nature. Have you heard anything about Golston out in the air, and what are your thoughts about him?
I mean, yeah, I've heard kind of the same thing, but I thought Digi's been from what I understood, Digi's been the more impressive guy on that, out of the two.
Yes, definitely. I didn't even mention him because they've been having big green lights about him.
Yeah, so with Golston, like I said, I've been off the grid for a couple of days, and I didn't have any cell phone service out there. I got a text about Atkins. Is there?
Yes, that's what
I haven't tried to track it down or anything because I've just been. We just got in from the road yesterday.
Right. Well, here's the thing about Atkins, and some people were out there saying like, "Oh, it's just it's a doctor's visit." We know that. It was never. I know he didn't visit with the Cowboys and say, "I'm trying to sit down and talk with you," but he's going to be visiting with the Dallas Cowboys doctor to get a medical checkup to make sure he's going to get cleared for free agency and see what teams are out there. Obviously, teams are going to be interested in Geno Atkins, and if he's meeting with Dallas Cowboys doctor, it would only make sense for the Dallas Cowboys to look into it. Obviously, it's going to come down to money and health. If he's healthy, and what kind of money, because he's going to get people on the market that's going to offer him some money, probably more than, to me, the Dallas Cowboys would. But maybe the Cowboys offer something that he likes. If there is a chance that a Geno Atkins can come to the Dallas Cowboys, how do you feel about that, Mike?
I mean, it's a defensive tackle, and I haven't looked at the numbers. I could be caught up in 2016, but I thought he's a pretty damn good player.
Dog, I'm all on that.
I could go look this up and completely wreck myself like I did.
No, you ain't wrecking yourself, dog, because Geno Atkins still a good player.
I beat the table for that damn safety out in Oakland, and I looked it up. I was like, oh man, he's just a black Jeff Heath.
Right. No, Geno Atkins is legit. I looked at his stats. He's still a formidable player. And here's the thing. When you're playing in Cincinnati in your early years, you were a little bit competitive. But when you start not being competitive, maybe your play falls off, and then you get with a team where you can make a difference, where the scheme could be good for you. You got a good coach in Dan Quinn that's ready, would probably open you up. And he's a defensive line coach, and I think he would be a good match. And Dallas needs somebody like that. People have brought up the Gerald McCoy thing, but this is what I felt like with this. I wouldn't want to bring a Gerald McCoy back because you brought him in and he was already damaged goods. He got hurt, and you knew he was going to get hurt. This is a whole total different situation with Geno Atkins because this guy could have a couple more years in him, and he could want to have a year on a prove-it deal. So he can maybe get another 2 or 3 year deal maybe there somewhere else. You feel me? So he would probably play out of his mind. And, dog, Mike, if we got a Geno Atkins, I'm feeling real good if you blend him with those other guys.
Yeah, but if besides the years he was hurt in 2013 and 2020, he's never had less than 60% snap count. So he stays on the damn field, and he doesn't get blown off the ball. You got 100 tackle for losses in his career. Are we allowed to do that here? Are we allowed?
You feel me? Right?
172 quarterback hits. Got double-digit quarterback hits every single damn year besides the year he was hurt. That's a player, man. I know he's 32, but hell, That's why he's not going to be $10 million.
Exactly. And that could be the deal that we need. You feel me? The way we was getting excited, I feel like we should have used Everson Griffin better, but I feel like the way we were like pushing that Everson Griffin thing, I think they really need to attack this Geno Atkins thing, because it helps and solidifies the defensive line to me, as far as now you have a one tech who you feel good about. Now I can blend him with the Brent Urban or and then the Bohanna kid that you can probably bring in here and there on matchups. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then you got Osa, who we're really high on, and I think that's going to be a great pick down the line. And they're playing him at the 3. Gallimore, it looks a little better, especially when you add a Geno Atkins in there to blend in with a DeMarcus Lawrence and a full season Randy Gregory.
Hey, PFR does a similar player, at the bottom of the advanced stat sheet. The guys they compare him to is Linval Joseph, Cortez Kenny, Howie Long, Ryan Pickett, Eddie Goldman, Richard Dent, Michael Carter, a couple good players in there.
Hey, Geno Atkins been a dog, and he ain't fell off to me like that where he's like, oh, Geno Atkins. No, I don't believe it.
He was part of that defense that drug Andy Dalton sorry ass to the playoffs just for him to throw 6 interceptions in 2 games.
Exactly. I think they should definitely look into that. But speaking of some players, I know you're excited to see Dak back in the fold.
Yep. Oh. I told y'all that motherfucker's gonna be healthy.
But for real though, who's the strength and conditioning coach? Them Cowboys look trim, dog. A lot of them boys look in shape.
Well, we have a strength and conditioning coach, but we have a strength and conditioning commander, and his name is Dak Prescott.
Right.
And if he out in that backyard working, or he at the star working, your ass best be there.
Right.
You best be there.
Right. You know what was so good about it, Mike? When I first seen Dak walk out on that practice field and just some of the highlights, you could feel the energy change when he walked out there. You could feel everybody like, that's our leader. That's our guy. We've been waiting for him. You could tell that this is his team. And you know what? We talked about Ezekiel Elliott, but let's keep it real, Mike. Hey, Ezekiel Elliott's been working his butt off this offseason. He's been training his butt off. He looks good out there, man. And I think that a healthy Dak Prescott has motivated him just like everybody else. And it's good to see, Mike.
Yeah, Zeke's got rabbit ears. He hears everything. He's got rabbit ears. People have been tearing him up. Rightfully so. So do running backs get better as they get older? No player really gets better as they get older outside of quarterbacks. But I would like to see it. I would like to see him get back over 4.5 yards of carry. I'd like to see him make a guy miss. I'd like to see him not looking for contact when he gets to the first at the second level, because he knows he can't outrun that linebacker. Where those Jets at?
You know what, Mike?
His rookie year, man, he was a glider. He ran track his entire growing up. He ran 100-meter relays, 200-meter relays. Like, he was a glider. That's what we liked about him. And that gear has been absolutely gone since 2016.
Well, I'll tell you what, number one, I was talking to my dog, Boss Cowboys, and we were talking about this. I had the videos I've been showing of him working out. He's been doing more elusiveness. He's been doing more drills where he's being elusive and not taking on the hits, because he's got to see that, hey, you about 25 now. You can't take them hits and think you're going to play in the NFL another 4 or 5 years. And you got Tony Pollard, who's going to be a third-year player who's chomping at the bit as well, and I think he's going to be improved. But I want to get on this question right quick. I think he's been hurt, but this is from Cozez Bank, who gave the donation. Really appreciate you on that as well. He said, how is T. Hill looking? I don't know, because he's been sitting out with a little knee. But all I'm saying is this. If Geno Atkins gets in that building and they're already got Gallimore there and they're moving Osa over there and he's playing that 3 as well, and they may slide Golston in there, it's going to be heavy competition at that 3 position, man.
I don't care about the name. I don't care about the name. Get in there. If you beat out Geno Atkins, you beat out Geno Atkins. True story. If Gallimore beats you out, then Gallimore can start. I got no love or hate for any one of those guys. May the best man win, but by God, can we get harder in the middle? Pause.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully the Bohanna kid, I believe he's going to be a nice addition. Trying to get him on the show. I got one of my guys.
I forgot about Quentin Bahama.
Yeah, you feel me? Bohanna, man. You know what I'm saying? And he just recently followed me on Twitter. So you know what? And maybe I get him on an interview and we could talk to him. And because he's one of those guys that he says, I don't care. Give me, huh?
Tell him we got food in here.
Hey, well, not just that. He loves eating them double teams. You feel me? He don't. That's what he loves doing. And I feel like, Mike, I feel like you got to have some a little bit more confidence in this Micah Parsons thing. What they're going to do with them? I think Micah Parsons is going to have a really good rookie year. I believe he is. He's going to have a turn-up year.
If he doesn't, like I've said, if he doesn't play over 75% of the snaps, then why the hell did you pick him?
He is.
Why'd you pick him? You know,
he is.
So, and if he's playing over 75% of the snaps, that means that one of those two guys, 55 would probably take himself off the field via, I don't know, blowing out his ACL, putting his cleats on or something. But we got to get 54, or I guess 9 now. We got to get him. Those 97% snap counts are just killing the team.
He's not gonna do that. He can't, because the Cowboys weren't effective that way, and you have a better player as far as the athletic, and you don't have the limitations with Parsons like you do with Jalen Smith. So it would make no kind of sense. And I feel like Michael Parsons is a smart enough kid where he's gonna grasp his playbook and be able to make plays. So I feel like they're gonna figure it out. And you're just Van Der Esch isn't on a contract. You get what I'm saying? So you don't owe him to be on the field like that. You get what I mean? You brought Keanu Neal. I feel like you got to be able to mix and match that. But like you said, 11 has to be on the field all damn game. You need to mix and match those other guys, but 11 needs to stay on the field.
I don't care if it's special teams. I don't care if you put him a wide receiver. I don't care. Like, play the man. Like, if you pick that man 12th overall, 12th overall, you got to play. You got to play.
Right.
So, but James, he says Randy Gregory. I feel like we need to touch on that. This is the first time Randy Gregory was picked almost a decade ago. This is the first time he's going to have a full, legit offseason in the NFL.
Right.
The first time in his career.
Right. And this will be the first time he actually can play a full season. This will be 17 games, not 16 as well. So, this is. Honestly, Mike, this is what I said. There's no reason why both DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory shouldn't have double-digit sacks. That's not an unreasonable expectation for me to say that. For real, I think DeMarcus Lawrence need to get that 12, 13 sack type season. But Randy Gregory got to have 9 to 10 sacks with a full offseason. And, Mike, we started seeing the pass rushing moves at the last year. It wasn't just the bend. We started seeing moves, and he was holding up in the run game. And when we hear Dan Quinn talking about him, saying, man, he's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster, that damn bend is still there. And I think, guess what? Mike,
they admitted they messed up by not playing him, because they couldn't work him in during the offseason because it was virtual. They didn't get to see him. He was gone around. He wasn't allowed to be around the team until damn near November. Right around there. Right. So
get that. Hey, and we almost got 100 in the building. We got like 20-something likes, man. Get them likes up, man. We already told y'all about that. You up in here. We spitting up good knowledge, good cowboy stuff. Get them likes up, man. Don't cost you nothing. Just
out here working on my day off.
You feel me? We out here. We got up early in the morning. Both of us. We talked about it last night because we was like, well, we ain't gonna do it tomorrow because of the game. And if we lose,
I'll be here on a game 7 after
you feel me?
Full, drunk as hell, yelling, cussing.
Not even that. We lost, and I definitely wouldn't even want to talk after that kind of a loss and the controversy that went with it. But we got up early in the morning, man. We said, let's hit it early in the morning. Let's do this. And I got to still go to work. You off. I still got to go to work here in a few. So, hey, get them likes up, man. It ain't cost you nothing. But, hey, who you feeling good about on the offensive side of the ball? Do you feel good about that offensive line? We have been talking about Tyron Smith and La'el Collins, Zach Martin, Tyler Biadasz, Connor Williams. Is there any kind of challenges on the offensive line? Because I've been hearing a few things. Number one, Brandon Knight has been strictly playing guard. That Matt Fehoko kid is playing center. I don't know what's going to be. Is Ty Nitch going to be the swing tackle? What's your kind of thoughts about the offensive line?
I ain't worried about Collins no more. I was worried about Collins big time this time last year. Because I knew what happened with him. He didn't think we were going to play football. And he didn't have, he was out baiting hooks, wetting lines, drinking cold beer, eating damn ham sandwiches on the riverbank, and then showed up about 40 pounds overweight and blew his damn hip out.
Well,
yeah, he wasn't hurt. That wasn't why he wasn't training. He didn't think we were going to play football. A lot of guys didn't. Because hell, I didn't think we were going to play football. Mm-hmm. And then about 2 weeks, what was it? They couldn't even get an answer from the NFLPA till almost like the first week of August. They're like, camp starts in 2 weeks. He's like,
right.
Shit.
Right.
I'm fat as hell. So
he's definitely looking good this year.
And
How do you feel
Smith
about Tyron?
talking about that neck, he thinks it's helped him take some of that pressure off the back as well. There was, neck bone connected to the backbone, yada yada. He only got one spine, but those two dudes being healthy at the moment is great. And I've said it several times. You could lose one of those guys. You can lose one, not the whole season, but you can lose one. You can't lose both. You can't just lose both your tackles.
Right. Well, how do you feel about the Tyler Biadasz year 2?
I mean, I thought he had a pretty solid year 1. Let's put it together. Let's build on that. I think the offensive line, I'm not worried about him at all.
Right.
We know what the wide receivers are. CeeDee Lamb put on about 7-10 clean pounds. He's out there beasting on dudes, jumping 37 foot up the damn air, doing 180 fucking inverted catches. So that's going to be a beast. Hopefully Amari Cooper's foot's still good. We got contract year Michael Gallup. The offense is ready to fly.
Yeah, I think the offense is going to take off. And you got Kellen Moore with another year with Dak Prescott. It's another year in the fold. And I feel like that just everything is kind of like, when you're kind of just playing on the team, Mike, let's say like if it's flag football and you guys been around each other 5 years, you don't need to talk any longer. You know where to go. You know where to throw the ball. You know where to run because y'all been playing together. And I feel like that's what's going to really make this offensive hum and sing, and it's going to explode because everybody knows each other. Everybody knows the system. Everybody knows, and the people that are just coming in, it's going to feel good. And I want to ask you about a rookie. A lot of people have been talking about him, and that's the kid, Simi Fehoko, the receiver is Stanford. Now, you got Cedric Wilson there. You got Noah Brown there. And I had somebody ask me the question. I said he's going to make the roster, and I said if he can play some special teams, he may move a Noah Brown off the roster. What's your kind of thoughts about him when we get ready to close out?
I don't think Noah Brown or Cedric Wilson are safe between Vasher and Fehoko because both those guys cost money, and neither one of those guys cost money. And Stephen Jones would save $3 if he can. So
right.
And Simi's going to be, especially Simi's a special teams demon, so he's on the team. He's making the team. I mean, unless something wild ass happens, I don't.
Right.
He's on the team, and I think when Vasher gets into camp and Dak gets to throw the ball to him, that's going to be fun. I know that I know he wasn't drafted and everything, but it's not that he's a bad player. Texas Tech just hadn't had a quarterback since Mahomes left.
Right.
Bowman got all busted up, and then he came back and had the freaking yips, man. He was. We thought Dak was bad. That was one of the most yipped up quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. He's bad. And then they were running other dude out there, and he's a Sandlot quarterback. So
right.
I like both those dudes' chances personally.
Yeah, and I want to see it. No, you got a guy that's 6'4", running 4.37s, and you got 6'6", a real 6'6".
A real 6'6".
And he's
6'6", 87 pounds, but it's a real
right.
6'6".
Hey, but like you said, you keep him on the roster, you get him on that good weight program, and get him a little bit stronger, and build him up, and then you see what you can do down the line, because that's a down the line, a future player for you. And like you said, he's cheap. He ain't costing you nothing because you didn't draft him. And the Cowboys love getting those undrafted players that got some talent and they ain't costing no daggone money. Stephen Jones love that. So we'll see. I want to ask you about a few other players before we get up out of here. We talked, people have been talking about the Nahshon Wright kid. And it looks like, I never said he didn't have the talent. I just said, you probably could have got that later, but he's looking like he's opening up some eyes in camp, and he's really pushing to say, hey, I'm trying to be this guy. What's your thoughts about him, going down the line and in camp?
I mean, if it works out, great. Like we talked about after the draft, it wasn't an overreaction at the draft. They didn't pick the players that a lot of people thought they wanted, and that's when they run into issues defensively. This team has had a problem acquiring defensive talent, so when they go off the beaten path, as opposed to the normal groupthink of auto draft that the league would do, it's not exactly worked out well for them. So there was no reason for optimism whatsoever. And then he shows up at the camp and starts playing well, and you're like, all right, well, maybe we got something there. So let's see what we got there going forward, and maybe they got lucky by going off the beaten path. We'll see. I doubt it. I just because history, but history changes. So.
And we haven't seen it, so that's why you have to give it optimism, because we haven't seen it. And like you said, and the good thing about it is, I also like about it, Mike, is that he's going against a top flight offense. It's not like he's coming in as a rookie playing against, regular play. He's going against top flight players that are going to challenge him and make him better. So I think he's coming into a good situation as far as that, and the defense, and even Dan Quinn, because you're playing against a really good offense. So you're going to have to really bring it as far as defensively, and the way Dan Quinn has really brought it in the interviews, and I think he's going to really be out there. That's why I'm excited to get to camp, Mike, because I think he's going to be out there yelling, screaming, hollering, being all in the mix, jumping in there. And I think those practices are going to be, yes, he's going to bring a lot of energy, and the Cowboys need that, Mike. We need energy. We need to come in there with some energy and some yelling and some screaming and some excitement. And I feel like Dan Quinn is going to bring that in the camp, and it's going to be very spirited practices between the offense and defense, and it needs to be that. And also, Mike, one last thing. I think preseason is going to be big this year, because we really need to see a lot of these guys in preseason, especially these first-year and second-year players that were on the team last year. Bradley and Nyes. We need to see what Bradley and Nye can do. We need to see more of the Gallimore. I need to Tristan Hill, if he can get in there a few snaps, get him in there.
Yep, for sure. And that camp, man, that backyard, they've been going hard in the backyard since about the last April, early May. And all those dudes do is go aerial, throw bombs, run routes. That offense is going to show up with something for these DBs, and they damn sure they best be ready. Yeah, they're going to tap dance on their damn head all camp.
Yeah, and I love it, and I can't wait to get to camp and see it, man. But hey, dog, I really appreciate you jumping on here with this morning. You know what I'm saying? We didn't knock it out yesterday, but guess what? We got it in today. Mr. Burgers and Blitzes itself, Mr. Mike White. Make sure you check him out on his Twitter. Let him know your Twitter handle so they can follow you again.
See it right there at Not to Be Truck. That's where you can find me, good folks.
All right, man. Hey, it's good to talk to you again. You know how we're going to do. We're going to do it again next week. And then, like you said, the mandatory mini camp is right around the corner tomorrow. And I know we'll have some good stuff to talk about then. So, hey, for myself, I'm going to talk a few more minutes. My dog, Mike White, Burgers and Blitzes, I really appreciate you again. Good to see you again. And good that you and the missus got home safely. And you know what? We'll be talking some more good Cowboys football, big dog.
I appreciate it, really. Y'all have a good one.
Hey, have a great night, babe. Peace. All right, man. So I'm about to get off here because I got to get ready to go to work. So just really appreciate everybody jumping in here. Let's get ready. Mandatory mini camp is tomorrow. I know we'll have some good stuff to talk about. Me and my dog, Billy the Kid, are going to get it in Wednesday. So we're having the mandatory mini camp tomorrow, and then we're having another show Wednesday. So make sure you check into that. We'll be talking more Cowboys football. We'll talk these Mavericks. My dog DDP, we're going to start jumping on some shows. We were going to do some Mavericks, by the way, the schedule, whatever. But we're going to talk Mavericks. We're going to talk Cowboys off season as we get ready for training camp. I'm waiting for find this schedule so I can get there. Hopefully they are doing these back and forth practices with the Rams. If that's the case, and it's like a week or something, that's the week I'm gonna be there because I want to see all that. But just waiting for the word for them to lock it down as far as with California, and then I'm there on the days, and I'll give y'all the dates. We'll see. We get a members meeting this week. Got some things to talk about. Once again, I got tickets. I just linked up with a gentleman. He's going to the Monday Night Football game with the Philadelphia Eagles. We're solidifying that deal today. So he's got 2 tickets. He's getting ready to go out. He's St. Louis, coming from St. Louis. He's really excited about that. I'm excited about that. So once again, if you're trying to get some tickets to these games, they're available through me. The Cowboys experience, I got those tickets for you for every game, every home game. 2 days for your fun. They'll be at the Westin in Los Colinas. Great time, transportation back and forth. There'll be the tailgate if you want to go to that. I think it's a little bit more, but really good hotel. We used to go to a different one, but we had a really great time with the Cowboys experience when we went. We were able to go to like 3 or 4 games in the past few years. Last year weren't able to, but we'll definitely be back at some games this year. So hopefully we can maybe meet up, see each other, have some drinks, whatever. But please, if you're trying to get into some of that Cowboys football, holler at me on my Big Game James page. That's where people have inboxed me on my Big Game James page. Message me there, or you can DM me on my Twitter, Big Game James. Just type it in. You can DM me there if you're serious about going to games. And I think that's going to be it, though. Shout out to you. What's up, Boo Thang? How you doing? Good to see you. But everybody, stay strong, stay up. Have a great week. We'll be talking to you in a few days. I'm going to drop some videos. Sorry, I haven't. I've been kind of, in work transition with my job, taking care of some things. So I'll get these videos out. I told I was going to start this series. We still got time to get it popping, but we'll get it going. So appreciate everybody in the feed. Love talking to everybody. Shout out to Mike once again for a good show. And you know how we do. And talk to you soon. Big Game James. I'm out. Peace.